Hey there, good morning. It's Joyce at Delightful Quilting and Sewing, a knitting dealer in Avon, New York. I don't know about you, but when I bought my long arm, a little over 11 years ago, nobody ever asked me how I was going to get my backing onto the leaders. They just assumed it was going to be pinning. And indeed, when it came, I had to pin because nobody asked me if I wanted to do something different. So we started out with pins, and you know that the canvas on the knitting frames is very sturdy. And my very first quilt backing that I pinned on, I got it on finally, and my decision was, not going to do that again. And I called knitting and ordered zippers. And I've been using zippers and leader grips since then, not pinning into the canvas unless absolutely necessary, because it's pretty stout stuff and my fingers got sore that day. So I moved on from the pins to zippers. And my zippers came and I had to install them myself, and there's a video posted a few weeks ago about doing that. The zipper was like this. Half of it is sewn onto the canvas, and the other half of the zipper that you unzip, you pin your backing to or your top to. And this unzips from here, and I learned that I didn't have to stand at the frame. I could actually sit down and watch TV while I was pinning my backing onto the zipper. So the zippers are on all three rollers if you use all three, or just two of them if you're floating. And the other half of the zipper looks like this. This one is meant for the front, the backing that goes on the front roller. And they're nicely labeled so that you don't get confused about which roller you're actually pinning it onto. So zippers is an option, an alternative option for getting your backing and your quilt onto the frame. One of the nice things about zippers is you can buy additional quilt sets. This is called the quilt set. So it's just a half set of zippers. It's the zip-on part of the zipper that goes onto the part that's attached onto the leader. And I have several of these additional sets because when I take in quilts, I may take them on and off the frame a couple of times before I get done. Or someone calls and they want to try out a machine, and so I have to take it off the frame and put on something for practice. So having an additional quilt set has been very handy. And one of the nice things also about the zippers is when you unzip it, when you take your quilt off by unzipping it, when you zip it back on, it's exactly aligned the same way as when you put it on the first time. So you don't have to worry, especially if you're doing a pantograph, that things are going to get crooked on you when you put that quilt back on the frame. So that's an advantage of the zippers. So then there's another system as well that we call leader grips. And leader grips look like this. There's a casing on the leader like this. It's folded back and stitched down. And when you order your knitting machines or your knitting frames these days, they come with a casing on them. And the leader grip set has a dowel that slides into that casing. And then when you put your fabric over top of the casing right here, then you just snap on these clamps. Now these clamps are plastic. They come in different lengths. There's even some starter clamps that are short that you can put on several places along the backing when you're putting it on to secure it for you until you get the longer clamps on. And so the leader grips come in a set. This particular set that I have right here, and they're by length because, of course, we have different length frames. So the 11-foot leader grip set would go on a 12-foot frame. And this says 3 liters, so this would be enough for 3 rollers. And leader grip also sells them with 2, so that those people that are floating don't need to buy the extra parts that they're not going to use. It's just meant for 2 rollers. And comes with everything that you need, including some shrink material here so that when you put your leaders into the casing, you connect it with this material here, put the shrink over the two ends of it, and use a hairdryer or hot blowing tool to shrink this down to keep the rods together, because these are about 4 feet long and they're actually the length that you need to work with the frame that you have. So that's leader grips and that's zippers. So those are the two of the alternative ways other than pinning. Now, one of the things that I have done, and I did not come up with this idea, but it's a fantastic idea, and it's a combination of zipping and leader grip. So this additional material right here that you can see with a leader grip in it zips on to my zipper that's on the canvas on my frame here. And whoever had this idea was brilliant. That's all I can say. So I ordered a set of these for my frame, so that on my zipper frame, if I'm just going to be putting a quilt on and getting it off in a few hours, I don't want to take the time to pin it on. And I can just use the leader grips, get it on fast, do the quilting, and take it off. So it's the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned, is this extra tab set that you can order from Knowlting that will zip onto your zippers that are on your leaders, but have the casing in it so that you can have leader grips as well. So all of these things are available from Knowlting. They have the leader grip sets. They have the extra half sets of zippers, and when you order the half sets of zippers from them, make sure that you get the length that you need for your frame. 126 is what's used on the 12-foot frame. So if you have a frame, a different frame size, make sure that you order the zipper set that will fit onto the frame that you have. So that's it for today, Tech Tuesday. I hope you learned a little bit about other methods other than pinning. And if you're new looking at this and thinking about purchasing a long arm, if they don't say something about how to fasten the backing onto the frame, make sure you tell them what you want, whether you're going to pin or whether you want a zipper set or whether you want to do leader grips. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this little edition of learning a little bit more about getting your quilt attached to your frame. Have a great day and see you next week.